Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the PC Cup for this season with the BMW MA competition. And this is also a video to let you guys know that I will be taking a break from CSR2 after this season. I have not decided how long a break I'm going to take, but it may be a little while before I decide to pick the game up again. In the meantime, what I know for sure is that this game has a lot of information still to share, regardless of the fact that I'm in the game or not. There are cars in the game that exist that are quite good, that can still be discussed, and there are other things that can still be given to you as information to help you along in your progression in CSR2. So I may or may not actually take a break from CSR2 as far as YouTube content. Stage 6 effects videos, for example, I'm way behind on. There are still Tempest cars that I have never touched. So I'm still debating whether to continue any of that. However, in the meantime, I will be checking out some other games, enjoying myself during the holidays, and just generally taking a break from the burnout of CSR2. My decision to take a break is not taken lightly. I played the game for 6 years, but ultimately, after all the time I've spent in the game, with the amount of quick events coming in and the pressure to constantly log into the game to do the daily activities, it's worn thin for me based on my schedule and my desire to have more time with family. So as a result, I've notified my crews and I will be taking a full break after this season. So this will be my last PC Cup for a while. Now, that being said, this PC Cup, like any PC Cup, so far, everything up to this race is super easy and probably won't get tough until about race 26 to 27. And I have a fully maxed M8 competition because this car was used in other events, and therefore I've had an opportunity to kind of build it up. Now, overall difficulty of PC Cups as kind of a review of these kind of cups is that there are two factors that affects how tough a PC Cup may be for you. One is how old the car is. The longer the car's been in the game, the more likely the developers will feel that a easy PC Cup wouldn't work for you. A second factor is whether there are a lot of other big events ongoing. Generally speaking, during the seasons where they realize you'll be burning tons of resources on other stuff, and therefore the PC Cup is just a minor piece of the overall equation, some of those PC Cups tend to be easier. But really, the biggest factor for Prestige Cup comes back to the car. If the car is really, really good and performs real well at Stage 5 only, and gains quickly in performance with one or two major Stage 6, some of these PC Cups can be taken down with one Stage 6, maybe two. When the car is kind of meh, like this one, it's not a great car, it's not a terrible car, but it's generally just kind of middle of the pack with everything, both performance, tunability, and other factors. The PC Cup won't be too easy. So a lot of factors when it comes into looking at whether a PC Cup will be easy or not. Always assume that you will need at least 2 to 3 Stage 6s for any PC Cup, and that's with a good car. So full fusions, another factor. Any missing epic fusions means more Stage 6s to compensate. You may have full Stage 6s and be able to beat the PC Cup with just green fusions and some blue fusions, or you may have 1 or 2 Stage 6s and beat the PC Cup with basically full fusions and 2 Stage 6s. So either strategy really works. There are no wrong ways to really go about it, and you can still get through. But in order to get all these parts, and this is the biggest part of the grind of this game, is finding those fusions, getting them, and then getting the right Stage 6s, because the game goes on a random generator when it comes to dropping Stage 6s, and you can screw you pretty often when it comes to giving you the one that you need. I personally have seen more intakes and turbos than I've ever seen bodies drop from the PC Cup itself, and certainly oftentimes we've seen that the Crew Cup Stage 6 that you get tend to be a duplicate as well, or if not, the PC Cup itself is a duplicate. So a lot of factors affect your progression in any PC Cup, and it's just something that the game is designed to do. Currently, with the big events on the map, I'm not anticipating this PC Cup to be super difficult, but again, let's see what the final time is, and we'll see if this car will be able to get through easily. Now, I did not drop the car back to stage 5 only as I normally would, simply because for time purposes, I'm just trying to get through this cup as quickly as possible. And a Folding Max car still can give you a gauge of where things may be. I know for a fact this car's not very quick. Without stage 6s, you're looking at about a 10-second car here. So if the times get under 10, we know that means stage 6s. It's not a terrible car to hit the speed traps or the sprints, but a super high speed trap certainly would be also a difficulty for this car. Although I haven't seen that yet. So far it looks like things are pretty straightforward and easy. Okay, we're moving right along here. Race 24, let's go ahead and keep going. Now technically my dyno is 8.1. I forgot to shift into 8th, and that kind of hurt me there. But I'll try to drive a little better for the next one. Right now it's still in the 11th, so I'm not particularly concerned about winning at this point. Here we go. Boom. I'm not sure nitrous in 3rd is the proper way either, so don't necessarily follow my shift pattern here. I believe it's nitrous in 2nd for this car. Alright, so race 25 is still in the 11th. I believe we should be able to get to race 28 without any stage 6. That's pretty common with most PC Cups, but that doesn't mean every PC Cup. Some of the cars are bad, and you almost need a stage 6 just to get to your stage 6. But in this case, let's see if we can get through to race 28 without getting under, say, 10.3. Here we go. All right, what do we got? Looks like another 11-second run from the opponent. Yep, but it's getting closer. 11-1, race 26, 27 can have substantial jumps in performance simply because that's where it starts to get more difficult. All right, let's take a look at this one. Here we go. I kind of jumped out of first a little faster, but oh, this one's kind of slow actually. This guy's slow. That's good. That also reminds me that nah, he's not that slow. 10.7. Still pretty quick. If the next guy jumps to like 10.3, then we may have some issues here as far as getting through. But I think it's pretty close to being beatable at stage 5 only as long as you drive properly. Here we go. Let's try to drive a little better. Again, I'm running 8s. They're probably running 10s. And let's see what race 28 will give us for a challenge. Okay, 10.5 is still within the range where stage 5 only will make it. So let's see if we can get 28 on stage 5 only. It should. I'll verify the stage 5 only time, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 10.3 with this car. But let's see. Okay, that looks a little bit 10.3, 10 maybe 10.2 for the opponent. 10.296, 10.3 basically. It's max. Okay. So that should be beatable as stage 5 only. I got an engine stage 6. Let's go ahead and finish this, and then we'll go back and take a look at 1 or 2 setups to see what they look like without full stage 6. So 10.296 is the target for race 28. Then we'll take a look at race 29, which should jump to about 9 point something. I really doubt this is still going to be a 10-second race. 8.1, 9.8. Yep, that sounds about right. That means most likely 9.6 as the final time with this particular Prestige Cup. Now, given the car is kind of a 10-second car at stage 5, 9.6 isn't, that's a pretty decent jump. But again, with the right stage 6, it's maybe doable with 2. And that's full fusion, of course. But let's see what the actual time is. 9.5. Okay, now that's pretty fast. Now you have to search around for different opponents. Sometimes there usually is a slower guy, and that's the one you can try to find. That'll take a lot of gas pips, but hey, if you're close but no cigar when it comes to 9.5, then that'll be your best strategy. Let's take a look at 2 things real quick. One is back to stage 5 only to see if we can definitely beat that 10.296 as shown by the opponent earlier. And also let's see if 2 stage 6s will get us to 9.5. Now I know which ones are usually the big stage 6s, and therefore those are the ones you want to use, but let's take a look. Okay, so current dyno is 10.4, but then again that's not tuned. Now this car does not really beat dyno well, so there's that issue too. Okay, 10.347. Ooh, that's cutting it kind of close with regard to getting it at stage 5 only, because the guy did a 10.296. Uh, 10.342. Wow, that's kind of close when it comes to trying to actually do that. Now so even race 28 may require you to jump around a little bit to see if there's a slightly slower opponent. But again, it's pretty much right on the cusp of getting it with stage 5 only. But let's see what I actually run, because remember, I'm having a hard time even hitting dyno with this car, so it may not. Oh wait, look, I think I got it. Come on. No, that would have been a loss against that opponent. Oh well, I mean, so that's kind of a rough spot to be in. You may not actually get to the stage 6 without a stage 6. Now shift pattern is important, and I haven't really played around with it too much, but assuming that it can actually hit slightly under dyno, it still would have been a close race. Or there might be a slower opponent that you can pull, and that may be able to solve the problem for you. Typical strong stage 6 for these kind of cars would be body. Let's see where body puts this car. I mean, certainly with body, you will easily get through race 28. Let's see if it can get us through race 29. Doesn't even look like race 29 is going to be easily done. So that is kind of rough. 9.9. I mean, again, we can play with this to see if any of it comes out to a little better. But 9.9 wouldn't have cut it anyway. So one stage 6 body, which is generally a decent stage 6, dropped you from 10.3 to 9.9. Decent drop, but not enough to pull it off. Let's give nitrous a shot, see what that does. That seems to work pretty well. Nitrous might be pretty good here. Let's take a look. If nitrous drops more time than body, that'll be a good thing. Not that I'm holding out for that, but oh yeah, a little bit better. 9.8. Again, I guess with nitrous and body together, you may have a decent shot at getting this done with 2 stage 6s, but certainly you want the right ones. I mean, if you don't get nitrous, you don't get body, and you don't get the stronger ones, overall, it's going to really hurt you. So this one has a lot of performance point gain. Ooh, this one looks like it's pretty strong too. So trans, nitrous, body so far are probably the top 3. I'll check tire next. Yeah, this one actually is so far a little bit higher than even nitrous. 9.7. So trans is a top one here. Okay, okay, all right. Trans is good. Let's go take a look at tire. So these kind of analysis with stage 6s tend to help a lot when it comes to figuring out where you are with your potential of getting through any event. I mean, if you have the stage 6 effects in mind, you know, you can say, okay, I have a good shot, I have a lousy shot. Certainly everything relies back to which ones you get, which one the game gives you, and it's not always the same one you're going to get, right? So a little bit of luck, and that's the problem. A lot of this game relies on dumb luck. You get the right things, all of a sudden it's an easy event. You get the wrong things, and you have 4 stage 6s, and you're still stuck, which is kind of why this can really get frustrating and tiring in the long run when you're doing this a long time. All right, just checking out engine, which is the actual one we gained from the event. Let's see what that does. And again, 10.1. So that only dropped about 0.2 for you. It's not that strong. And therefore, engine wouldn't have gotten me very far, even if I had received it and fusioned it for the remaining event. So that is kind of the breakdown with any card that you deal with, any event. I mean, this applies also to the current on the board major events. You know, if you are locking in cars and you don't have the right stage 6s, you probably won't get very far. In any case, that was the last of the PC Cups I'll be running for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and some of this information might be helpful to you. If you like the video, leave a like. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to my channel because I don't know what else is coming at this point. But as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time at some point. Have a good one.